Hey guys, welcome back. So the big question for me is, should I vote yes or no on the $1 trillion pay package for Elon Musk come this November? Let's get into it. Now, this news just came out today, and basically the board of directors at Tesla have put together a new pay package for Elon Musk, an incentive pay package that, if it were to come true, this pay package, and be voted and approved, and he was able to execute on this pay package, it would be worth $1 trillion, guys. $1 trillion. Now, there's a lot to kind of unpack with this video and with this pay package. Now, if you're not an Elon Musk or Tesla fan, feel free to skip the video. If you don't know, I am a Tesla shareholder. I hold, I think, around 1,300 some shares. It's around $500,000 worth of shares. Okay, it's a tough position to hold. It is not easy. That stock is the most volatile stock you will ever hold in the stock market. Okay, not much gets more than that. Maybe Palantir a little bit. So the question is, should I vote yes or no? What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to answer it. And the answer is yes. I'm going to vote yes on that. Now, hear me out. Let me tell you the reasons why I'm going to vote yes on that. And maybe some of the kind of the naysayers on why that doesn't make sense at all. Okay, we'll talk about that. So let's go over the pay package. I do have it on a list here. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen over here. So he has to reach these tranches, all right? And this is the same package they did with him back in 2018. They said to the shareholders, hey, if Elon gets us to a certain milestone, we'll pay him a certain number of shares. Elon Musk doesn't have a salary, guys. It's been zero ever since he's been the CEO, okay? He just gets paid in stock if he meets certain milestones. And in 2018, the milestones were pretty much outrageous. Okay, the media, the legacy media pretty much said, this will never happen. No way would this ever happen. That's what the media said, okay? The first pay package was, I think, something like $750 billion market cap. And there was a certain level of profit and revenue that the company had to have before he met the final tranche back in 2018. And he met them all, him and the company. There's a lot of people that are employed there. And so he met them all, and he was supposed to get this pay package back in 2018. However, a stockholder, one who had like 5 shares or something like that, and he had sued the company before, sued him again, and said that this pay package was not valid. Okay. And the premise was that the board of directors knew that the milestones were going to be hit. So it was biased. But yet, the legacy media claimed this would never happen, right? So there's a little bit of interesting contradiction there. And the judge agreed with this, this shareholder that was the case, that the board of directors actually knew that these milestones were going to get hit before the pay package was written up or approved or whatever, right? So that's the controversy behind the first pay package. And since then, the board of directors, I think, approved a new pay package if the Delaware judge, or the appeals courts don't agree with Tesla or something like that. So they're trying to get that first pay package still approved to this day. It's still going and involved in the courts and whatnot. So anyways, that being said, think about this. If that shareholder was right, meaning the board of directors kind of knew that they were going to hit these milestones, what about today? Think about it. These milestones that they've put out, I'm going to talk to you about them right now. If the board of directors thinks that these are going to come true like before, we're talking about an $8.5 trillion market cap for Tesla that's going to happen at the end of the day. And I bet you that shareholder is right. They probably do know they're going to hit these milestones. I've been talking about it on this channel from time to time. I don't want to make this a Tesla channel. Every now and then I do talk about Tesla. I've got a big position. So it's on my mind quite a bit. And, you know, if you don't know anything about Tesla, it's an AI company right now. That's what it is. It's an AI company. It's not an EV company. It's an AI robotics company. So let's talk about the tranches and how crazy they are. So the first tranche, every tranche that Elon hits, he gets 35 million shares of Tesla. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, honestly, it is a little bit over the top, don't you think? Just a little bit. But it is what it is. You know, I guess that's how big business goes, right? Scalability, AI, all that jazz. So he gets $35 million a tranche. The first tranche is $2 trillion market cap, 20 million Tesla vehicles delivered. I think that's just lifetime, I believe, is what it is. I haven't looked too deep into this structure yet. I will have to look into it more. The second tranche is 2.5 trillion, 10 million active FSD subscriptions. So I assume 10 million people have to buy the FSD subscription, which, man, talk about a lot of profit from if that were to happen. So we'll see. And then tranche 3 is $3 trillion valuation, 1 million bots delivered. 1 million bots have to be delivered for Elon to get those 35 million shares in that tranche. That's a lot of robots, guys. But they've delivered millions of cars. They can build millions of robots. And there will be buyers lined up to infinity, okay, for 1 million bots. The demand for those bots will be out the door, okay? And if they were to sell 1 million bots, they'd probably be able to extract a premium, especially on, you know, the first 10, 20, 50,000 bots, because there's going to be a high demand for them, okay, to replace labor. That's what these bots are going to do. And then the fourth tranche is 3.5 trillion, 1 million robo-taxis in commercial operation. I think that's probably going to happen before the 1 million bots delivered, which is kind of interesting. They have that one after the bots delivered. So maybe they're thinking the robo-taxis is more challenging to deliver on, because it does have to do with safety. I mean, we don't want to see people having accidents, having tragedies with robo-taxis. And they're being very cautious about it, which I'm happy about. They're being a good steward to our society by having a safety driver in there, because this is a new technology. It's AI, vision-only driven, and it's good. I'm fine with them taking their time. If they need to take another year, go for it, Tesla. Be safe. I want this to be the safest thing known to man, and I want our customers to love this product, to feel safe with this product, and just make transportation cheaper. And I'll do another video on that. That is an important thing we need to talk about. Tranche number 5 is 4 trillion, which is just 50 billion of adjusted EBITDA, which is just earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. And then it goes up to, basically from there, to tranche 12 is $8.5 trillion market cap with $400 billion of EBITDA. That's $1 billion. No, 400 billion, sorry. It's $100 billion a quarter, guys. 100 billion a quarter. I honestly think that will happen. I know a lot of people think, you know, it's just vaporware. All this stuff Elon says is vaporware. But is it? He said that those rockets were going to land back on the planet, and they do. And he keeps saying it about this Starship rocket. And I'm telling you, they've almost landed that other Starship in the ocean now. They did the other day. And they'll probably land the booster here all the time moving forward. They're just experimenting, guys. That's how coders work. That's how software people work. Engineers, we have to experiment. We have to break stuff and make it work. That's how probably this FSD has gone over time. There has been unfortunately, some fatalities. Now, I don't know if it's due to FSD or not. It could be due to just drivers being irresponsible. That's probably what it is. They think that they can't watch this thing. Well, they do. I mean, Tesla says that. But yeah, I mean, in general, do I agree with the amount? Probably not. I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous. But I want him to stay with the company. I want him to He's the only guy that's going to have the balls to tell people, no, you're wrong. No, you do it this way. No, get rid of that part. This is not going to work. Not going to work. He's an engineer at the end of the day. People claim he's not, but he is. You can tell by what he says and how he leads his companies. He makes them get the job done. That's what matters. And to top it off, here's the other big reason why. He's got this XAI company. It's already doing AI operations better than ChatGPT, better than Claude, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and faster and better. And I want that intellectual information to transfer over to Tesla and vice versa. And I believe on the shareholder vote, there is a vote to buy, some stake in XAI, which I guarantee you both of these things are going to be approved. Most investors are salivating for the opportunity to get exposure to AI products in general. There's not a ton of exposure to. There's some in Google, there's some in OpenAI, which in turn is Microsoft. Microsoft, I believe, owns 50% of OpenAI or something like that. I can't remember what the equity is on that. So you're getting some exposure there, but XAI is private, so people want a piece of that in general. And Elon's got the largest AI hypercluster in XAI, probably the second largest AI hypercluster with the FSD robots and the robo-taxis. Yeah, I just know he can execute on this stuff. And so that's why I'm going to vote yes. That's the bottom line. And to be honest, he doesn't get anything if none of these milestones are hit. So, it's no risk to the shareholder if he doesn't get paid as far as those tranches are concerned. And it's only upside if those tranches are met. And Elon can't even, if he meets these market caps have to stay for a certain time period. They can't just hit it and then go down. They have to be sustained. That means that business model has to be sustained for longevity. And he can't sell the shares for, I think it's 7.5 years. Okay, so by the time they reach $8 trillion valuation, if they do, most likely he's probably going to be in his late 60s. He probably won't be able to sell any shares until he's 73, 75 years old, if it were to happen. Okay, but again, the funny thing is, even the judge said the board of directors knew that these milestones were going to get hit. So what does that tell you? It tells you that probably they know what they have. They know the technology they have. They know how much it's worth. It's probably worth $10 trillion, more, double NVIDIA's valuation. So from here, as far as upside is concerned, if those milestones were to be hit, you're looking at an 8x, which is a great return. If this took 10 years to make, it's an 8x return. Dare I say a 10x return. They might get to $10 trillion. Typically, stocks will overshoot a typical valuation by a couple $1 trillion when you get to these levels, just depending on how the froth is in the market at the time when these tranches are probably going to get hit. Because, the markets always price in things before they happen. If these robots start shipping, let's say they ship one robot, they're going to probably price in $500 billion in valuation because they know that businesses are going to line up around the corner, around the building to get those robots at the end of the day. So I'm voting yes. And, do I believe that the amount is ridiculous? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll figure out a way to distribute that kind of wealth. I hope he does, kind of like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett did with their wealth. Maybe Elon will turn the corner and become a good steward of the world with all that kind of money. We'll see what happens. But I don't think he cares about the money, to be honest. He cares about power. He wants the 25% so that he can't get ousted within Tesla because he'll have a certain number of shares to be able to vote his way out of an issue or vote on certain issues when it comes to AI, because this is going to become the conversation, guys. He keeps talking about this, is that the AI revolution that's happening, the voting that's involved is going to be pretty important. And even the shares I have could make a small impact, because As they buy back shares, there's going to be less shares available. And so my concentration is probably going to go up and up and up. It's like that with Apple. Apple buys back $20 billion in shares a quarter. And so if Tesla's doing $100 billion a quarter, they're going to be buying back $80 billion in shares a quarter. Now, at an $8 trillion valuation, that's not a lot, but it will concentrate your position more. So that's something to consider. Now, I can't recommend you go and buy Tesla shares. It is a highly priced stock, no doubt. I'm not a financial professional. I can't tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I'm not buying anymore. I've got enough exposure. I don't need any more. Again, it's a tough hold because Elon's so controversial. I don't like half the stuff he says. But I like him as a business leader from an engineering perspective and from getting the job done. That's why I like him. Okay, I do like his philosophies on business as well, like not having a lot of middle managers, not having a ton of meetings, always look for efficiencies, no part is the best part. All those things are great in business, and those are tips you should really consider when it comes to your business or your career. Okay, this is how you can improve your career, is listen to just cherry pick things from Elon Musk. Okay, you don't have to like everything he's got to say. He's a jerk half the time on X. He's a troll. We all know this, but you can take things from him and gain insight, value, and wisdom from time to time. And I do from Tesla. I've learned, okay, and I'll do another video on this. I'll stop this video. I've learned a lot about AI with Tesla, and I'll do a whole nother video on that. So anyways, you guys let me know what you would do. If you owned, 1,000 shares of Tesla, would you vote no or would you vote yes? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure I'll get a lot of back and forth about, Elon Musk and, Tesla, it's too much money or whatever. I get all that. But let me know in the comments below what you would do. And if you guys could, like and subscribe to the channel. Take a look at my previous video if you could. And everyone have a great day. Thanks.